Hey, how's it going? Today we are reviewing a Jett on split submitted by bits #0999. This game's feedback has been given by our coach Shiryu, which is a Peak Immortal 2 player. And the reason why I'm dubbing this VOD review and not him is he is not home right now. So I hope you don't mind that. Let's get started. So this round we do know that Omega is gonna be flashing top. I do believe the flash was thrown a little too early. You do end up pushing Heaven here with Phoenix, but unfortunately, you and him do not check corners properly, so you do end up getting killed from behind. Of course, it's not entirely your fault. Phoenix did push first, but still, on pistol round where things are a little slower pace, it is recommended that you also clear angles just to make sure that everything is covered. Okay, so this round is one of the rounds where I do believe you were playing slower than you should with Jett, especially since right here we know that there is a Neon with Spectre. She's praying a lot, and there are 3 people that are able to push Neon. You could have called it, and I do believe your team wanted to push Heaven. You could have pushed with them and gotten a free kill on Neon and picked up the Spectre. But that wasn't your only option when you were hiding in the smoke. So when you did stop here, we do know that Breach is pushing alone, which is, of course, his fault. And this is not the best play on pistol round, but I feel like if you did try and support him in this occasion, maybe you could have gotten a kill with him on site. So we heard a Bucky shot, and you did hear the Bucky shot a little bit before that, before you ended up committing to the site. So I would be more careful picking out of the smoke here. You do end up getting the kill, or your Omen does. But yeah, it's a little risky picking with no armor, with a pistol, when there's a shotgun right in front of our faces. Or you could have tried to peek from the other side where the shotgun is not standing. But overall, you got the kill. So that's fine. So in this round, your Breach did call that he is gonna go mid, and your Omen did call that he's gonna be flushing Heaven. There's really no reason to be pushing without your initiator, which is one of the main ways to actually gain side control. So right now, all the duelists are here, and Breach is mid alone. Phoenix is trying to rotate to him, but overall, you should try your best to support your initiator, especially since he did call it early on that he's going mid. So the way you peek here, excellent, really good. Clearing things slowly, one by one, angle by angle, which does give you time to kill Cypher on the site, since I do believe you see his camera. And you get flashed by here, you hear the Cypher Utos, and you go back. This is an excellent play. In the same round, you do end up peeking mid here, and you see 2 people. There are a few problems with the way that you peeked. One, you are really close to the wall. So when you are picking mid, and you're picking close to this wall, the enemy will see you a lot earlier compared to when you do peek from far away from the wall. This gives you more advantage. And the second problem is your crosshair placement. In here, when you peeked, you were kind of hovering over it. And when you were exposed to 2 people, it was a little late to adjust the crosshair because you're already very exposed. And you did get the kill on the Clove, but if you did peek this properly, pretty sure you do have excellent crosshair placement whenever you are peeking properly. So if you did peek this the correct way, you would have gotten multiple kills. So during this round, I believe it is similar to the pistol round that you played earlier and you were too slow. You know your entire team is going mid. And that is the correct play with this team comp, but you do need to play a lot faster. When you're playing Jett, Jett is very speedy, very flashy. You do need better positioning, so you can always be the first to enter site with your team and playing with your initiator. And the second problem when you did go to site here, I would not personally dash right here in this spot. When I'm playing on B and you cleared very well and you got to this point, it is either recommended for you to jump right here, or if you have a little bit more heaven control, which I do believe your team was over here, you can go here and just dash backside, which does give you a little bit more clearance if someone is standing right here, if someone is standing right here, or right here, or right here. So in this round, we do see a similar problem where you are not the first that's pushing site or pushing ramps with your team. You're holding ADS and in heaven, and that's not necessarily a bad play. It's just not the play that you should be doing with Jett. So we do see that your Phoenix ulted, your Breach ulted. You are supposed to be either going site right now or going with Phoenix. Now, I'm not sure if maybe you did not expect them to use their ults, but at the end of the day, when you are playing Jett, one of the fastest duelists in the game, you do need to be prepared to entry site or play with your second or a duelist or with your initiator. But right now, you're pretty much holding an angle where no one is going to pick from. In this round, it's not necessarily bad to lurk with Jett as long as you call it, especially since you do have blue duelists. But with this team comp where, again, you do have two more entry duelists, it is recommended to play together and rush together. Lurking like this is not the best play. No one can trade you, and we do know they really like playing Heaven from multiple rounds before. So it is better to stick with the team since you have incredible power to actually enter site. For this round, you are saving again, as you do have your ultimate, which isn't a bad play. The issue with you when you are playing your ults, so you do peek the Wayla here, and you end up getting 2 body shots and 1 headshot. So when you are playing with Jett knives, you do know that they are fully accurate when you are moving, and that includes when you're jumping. Especially in a rank like yours where people have decent crosshair placement, it is generally not recommended to peek like you're playing with a normal gun. If you're trying to fight someone right here, it's recommended to just jump and get your shots. Peeking like this is most of the time gonna get you killed with a headshot, mainly because people have decent crosshair placement. So to have a better chance fighting, especially if you didn't miss the knives, you just needed a bit more time. I think you needed 1 more knife to get the kill. All you have to do when you're peeking with Jett is just jump around and try to get the kill like that. In this round, the wall drops, and you are still holding your knife right here. We've seen before that this team can be aggressive at the start of the round. This is very risky. You have your knife, you're not holding the angle properly. If someone peeks you right here, you would have died. We do see the Neon, and in higher ranks, she's not gonna dry peek you. So holding this with ADS would not make much sense. I mean, in general, your entire team is pushing B. Again, it is recommended to play with them with a very aggressive team comp. But if you want to lurk, it's more preferable to not be seen, unless you're trying to fake, where you try to make sounds and then go back. First round on defense, you are going to be peeking here, which you do peek this properly. You don't overextend. You peek angle by angle. You don't see anyone, and then you're back to your team. Nothing wrong with this play. You're doing the right thing. They were not A, so now you go back to B. Second round, you're playing an Outlaw. This is really good. Some Jett players are afraid of using snipers. I'm not really sure why. Using snipers with Jett is phenomenal. It's great. Sure, yes, some maps are smaller than others. But when you're playing an agent that can escape death very quickly if you do mess up your shot, you need to abuse the sniper. So again, in this round, you're peeking with your sniper. You don't see anyone. and they call that the team is minigun. This is really good positioning. This is a good angle to hold. Unless they're shifting and going up here, I don't think you would be able to see them, but some micro flick would be able to catch them. Again, right here, this is the right play. You're trying to get a kill with a sniper. You miss, it happens. And unfortunately, with the gun difference here, you do hit this guy, but there are too many people shooting at you, so you die. But overall, this is a good round. So in this round, unfortunately, you end up leaving B open and you just wait and spawn, which is not really good because if they do end up going B, they pretty much have a free site. And they do end up going here. The problem in this round is you're kind of rushing the way you peek. Maybe the previous rounds are messing up your mental, but the way that you're peeking out of here is not good. First of all, your crosshair is a little too close to the wall. If they're peeking quickly, they may cross your crosshair and gonna have to adjust. And again, the crosshair placement is not necessarily the best. Take your time, especially when you're peeking out of the smoke. And you do need to wait for your entire team to rotate. There's nothing wrong with waiting up on defense with Jett. You do have your dash, so you don't die here, but still, you are way too overexposed from multiple angles. You peek too quickly. If you do take your time a little bit, I'm confident you would have gotten the kill on Neon. This round, you had good idea, good play. You actually had really good crosshair placement when you peeked. It's very unlucky that you didn't end up getting the kill here. I do believe it's because you did move a little bit. You moved to the right. But overall, good crosshair placement. Just unfortunate that you did not get the kill. So right here, when you're looking at the neon wall, this is pretty much a smoke. And when there's a smoke, we don't look in the middle of it. We try to look in the edges here or here. Now, of course, since this is a wall and they can technically come from anywhere, the right play is to go back to the stairs and just look at it from a small angle to the point where no matter how they push, you have good crosshair placement. Right here, the wall was around here. The good play in this situation is just to go back and just hold until someone pushes you. And if they don't, you can just hold back here. But just standing right there and waiting for the neon wall to go back, they could be here, they could be here, they could be here, or they could be here. You're gonna have to trust your flick to get the kill, and that's not always accurate. In this round, we have a similar play where he did mid. When you are peeking here, we know that they're here. They did kill the Phoenix. Also, ADSing here is not always the good place, as multiple people can peek you. And getting traded when you are defending is not always good. But if you really want to peek from right here and get a kill from main, this is not the right way to peek this angle. If you want to peek this and hold this, it's recommended to go all the way back and hold it from right here. Again, that's because when we are closer to the wall, they have more time to see us. They see us earlier, and we are generally bigger on their screen. When you are holding B main, go all the way back and hold it from right here. Again, it is not always good to be traded on defense, especially right here, since they can spray all of this. But if you really want to hold it, you're confident that you can get a kill, hold it from all the way back here. And if you want to even do it in a better way, you can hold it from right here. In this round, you are peeking an angle that you have peeked correctly multiple times before, but the time they actually are going A, you end up rushing with the way you peek, and that does get you killed. Again, when you are peeking, take your time, clear angles one by one. It's not necessarily slower, it's more safe. It guarantees that you are isolating your fights and whenever you do end up fighting someone, you're not fighting multiple people at the same. You are trying to peek here early in this round, but again, you are making the same mistake where you are peeking too close to the wall. When you are peeking this angle, never peek it up close to the wall. This exposes your body a lot faster compared if you are peeking it from here. Maybe the idea is that you don't want to peek the same angle twice, but this is relatively easier to them to kill you compared to this. Especially if your ping is slightly higher than them with the peeker's advantage, peeking this and getting a tap is the correct play here, instead of going here and trying to play a different angle, but this is just simply worse. This round, B was open. You guys are playing retake. You get a really nice kill on Neon, you pick a gun. But we do run into the same problem where you are peeking without actually checking your angles slowly, making sure no one is there. And we do know that someone is right here from the minimap. Someone is around here. So they could go here or they could go here. Now, you do end up pushing them. And I'm pretty sure with your crosshair placement, it's pretty good. If you are peeking and your positioning is proper, you would have gotten this kill. So here are my final notes about this specific game. Your aim will be split into two sections. 1, crosshair placement. 2, movement. Usually I have 1 rating for aim, but watching this game, I have to split it into 2. Your crosshair placement, I would give it an 8 out of 10. You have really good crosshair placement. The only reason why the way you peek things is not getting you kills is your movement. I believe it's not because you're bad at it. It's just I don't think you have the patience to clear things properly. But unfortunately, it does make a big difference when you are ranking up more and more, especially now that I believe you're Ascendant and you're trying to reach Immortal. You do need to focus more on your movement. Now, Jett. You played Jett decently considering the fact that your team comp was not the best. But again, you need to play Jett faster. You need to play Jett with more confidence. Most of the issues that happened on attack is either you did not play with your team or you were not making space for your team and taking some of the pressure off so they can help take site when you're the one who always goes in first. Now, for comms, I do believe your team did call out multiple times that they are going mid, but you ended up going somewhere else. With an aggressive team comp, when you're playing Jett, you should almost always play with your initiator. Unless you have a concrete plan that lurking is going to help you make more space. But in this game, that wasn't really the case. You should communicate with your team and tell them what you want to do, what you want to play with, and if they have a plan, stick with it. Confidence. On attack, your confidence was slightly lower compared to defense. You were not playing as fast as you should when you're playing Jett, but on defense, you tried to play more aggressively, which is good. You just need to fix, again, your movement, your positioning, and you would be playing Jett great on defense. Game sense. I do believe you have pretty good game sense. You pretty much expected where the enemies are going to come from, and most of the time you were right. When you were rotating on defense, you knew when to rotate and you knew where they're going to come from. The problem that you were having, the reason why you had a lot of deaths, not a lot of kills, is the way you were peeking angles and the way that you were moving. And that is pretty much it. Again, this game notes were from Shiryu. He is an Immortal 2 player. Everything that I talked about in this game was coming from him. He did a review on this game, but unfortunately he is not home. So he does not have a microphone to do this VOD review. And thank you very much for submitting a review. I hope we see you here again. I will leave the same things that I talked about in this VOD review as notes attached to this VOD review. And that is pretty much it. Until next time, have a good day.